Hello again, friends, and you are my friends, and welcome to your instant fan match reaction show. I'm your host, the Gov. It has finished Swansea 1, Ipswich Town 4, back-to-back away performances that have ended in Town winning 4-1. Wasn't always easy going, or was it? We want your opinions, your questions, your thoughts. Don't forget, we have got our free voice message service. You don't need to leave your name, any details. Sign up. I don't think you need to sign up. Head to speakpipe.com/talkingtown to leave your voice messages. Sing praises about Jack Taylor. All aboard the Taylor bandwagon. It's filling up pretty full. I'll tell you that. There was a time I was the only one on this bandwagon, driving it alone. But now it's filling up pretty full. So if you want to talk about Jack Taylor, Jack Clarke, Christian Walton say, whatever it might be, we'll play them all on tomorrow's show live, obviously tomorrow, for a more in-depth look at today's game at 5 p.m. I can see many comments coming in, but I'm joined by two wonderful people. We are partnered with Match Bingo and Stowmarket Osteopaths. More on those later. I'll start with you, Ando. Town have won 4-1. They're up to 7th in the live league table. What's your instant reaction thoughts following that 4-1 victory?
Just a complete away performance. Really, really complete. I mean, we started the game quite well. We controlled the game. We got McAteer in. He got a couple of lovely crosses across the 6-yard box, which at the time when it's 0-0, you're thinking, oh, we need to get Hurst on the end of those. But I just think as the game wore on, we just got... I said this in the Premier League. They had better... All the other teams had better players than us. We have better players. Are we the best team? That's always been questioned. But today, you can see that the team with the best players is starting to gel. And what I mean by that is we controlled the game first half. We got the first goal. We had a setback second half, their first attack. We've been here before many times with this. But the way the team reacted and dug in again, didn't concede a second, and just you can sort of sense the way that McKenna is saying it to the team. Trust the process. Do the same things. Keep going. That is now, as a team, that is starting to come to the fore. And you can see it, particularly away from home. It's a pleasure to watch.
Speaking of which, before I ask for your instant reaction thoughts, Coxie, Lee Anderson there said, trust the process. The process now delivers you in 7th, 6th away from second place. Only a few, I think it's 2 points, 3 points outside the playoffs, game in hand on all those above you. Trusting the process.
I think you can't argue with facts. And like you said, the facts are we're in 7th place. We're still early November. There's plenty of the season to go. We're not going out too early. So perhaps, a run will come just at the right before Christmas. And but you can't. Trust the process. Yeah, I'll go along with that tonight. You can't argue with facts.
All right, Mark G says, great when former players give you a hand. Andrew says, great 3 points with 12 players on the field. Chris McTaggart, great win. Good to have 12th man Cam Burgess on your side. Jamie says, Agent Burgess, love it. Mike Baker, Walton second half save, the turning point of the game, without a doubt. That goes in, and it's a totally different game. We've got Kev Hansen. When was the last time Ipswich Town won back-to-back away games 4-1 and Norwich have lost at home again? Yeah, that might mean the end for Manning at Norwich. I want them to draw today. Plaster over that crack. Keep that time ticking over until they don't make a change, and then it was potentially too late. We've got lots of fantastic comments. Berham, go on, Town, needed that. 1 point away from 6th, game in hand. Happy Blue evening, Matt. Gentlemen, Nunez is restarting to find a spot in this 11. He drives us forward, great range of passes, and he's got a mean shot on him. And on the quiet, he's a nasty little tackler when he needs to be. Coxie, I'm going to ask for your two outstanding players, as I am you, Lee Anderson, and you at home. Let us know. But I want your instant reaction thoughts. While you're delivering those instant reaction thoughts, you guys and girls at home, you've got one job only. Hit the subscribe button. If you haven't hit it already, come on. Help us to grow. It's free. Once it's done, it's done. You never miss a single Talking Town show. And if you are already subscribed, thank you very much. I appreciate it. So do that now while Coxie tells us his instant thoughts. Go on, Coxie.
Absolutely. It was a great away performance, especially the first half. And, I don't want to take anything away from our boys, but Swansea were not very good that first half. And as I said before, God, Matacima, I couldn't get over how much space he had just in front of them. That back four, he could have, whipped his bloody mobile phone out and done a Just Eat order and probably had it delivered, and he still wouldn't have been closed down. But bloody hell!
So is he? So you mentioned about Matchday. So I'm going to go out and guess that he is one of your standout performers this afternoon.
On the first half, along with Nunes, I mean, it's pretty much. I would actually paraphrase the comment we had on the amount how he drives forward and how he can look for that pass, driving forward from the middle. He's willing to spray it out either side. But overall the game is only one player for me, and that's Jack Clarke. We've been worried. We've been sort of not worried. We've been wondering, what has he got to do to get a start in phase, because he's come on. Not only is he an impact play, he proves he can do it from the start. You could see from the initial kickoff that he was up for it today, and and we are saying what we were all moaning last season that he made his name for Sunderland by coming in from the left touchline and coming in and then taking the shot. Well, we're seeing that time and time again for Town finally.
Yeah. So Matt Seward and Jack Clarke getting some well-deserved mentions there from Coxie. Lee, give us a couple of standout performers for you from that 4-1 victory. It's going to be very difficult, I know.
There is, because when you've got better players in the opposition, it just is simply the fact that generally we have better players. But I mean, Jack Taylor today drove the first half, drove us. And when you've got Matacima there as well, you can see why away from home, you can see them two working together. And it was interesting what McKenna said on interview, that at one stage, he thought that Matacima and Morsey were going to play together. I mean, that's some tough midfield. Tough midfield. But I think the thing that you've got Jack Taylor to come in now and play that centre midfield role. He was, was he fortunate a couple of times where he lost the ball and then won it back again in midfield, particularly first half. But he's showing his worth now. And I think maybe 18 months or a year ago, we were thinking, was he worth the money? What have we seen him? But I think he's showing his, the same as Clarke, gone to the Premiership a bit early, come back, better for it. You can just see the, how those two players are really performing.
Yeah.
So Taylor for one, Jack Clarke first half, all over it, wasn't he? He was, and the goal. If you look back to see the goals that we've scored this season, if you can't be pleased as an Ipswich fan to see some of the goals that Clarke, Philogene have scored, we're just seeing worldies might be a bit much, but we're seeing beautiful goals. We are seeing beautiful goals every week.
Yeah, but worldies, that's that 4-1 victory gone straight to your head there, Rando.
No, it's not. It's not, because Jack, if you see Clarke's finish, if you go back like pre-takeover, what players did we have that can score goals like that? We didn't have them. We didn't have them goals in
Ollie
our
Watkins,
splash.
Aaron Drennan. I mean, come on, take your pick.
Come on. Yeah, well, Aaron Drennan is a fox in the box. But I think what I'm saying is,
not for Town, he wasn't.
In the squad, we've got those players that can score from outside the box. I think I mentioned on a Sunday show the other day that we've just got players that can produce that sort of magic, and we're rotating the squad. The squad rotation seems to be working for me, but I guess I'm going into other territory, so I'll pause there.
You carry on. I'm enjoying listening to this 4-1 victory go to your head. Do you know what? It's gone to my head as well. I wasn't going to do it tonight, but I'm going to do it tonight. Town have won, so I'm going to release the new merch store. It's now officially open to every single person. Members have had early access. They've got 15% off. It's now open. Links in the chat. You get 10% off for using the word TalkingTown10 in the code. All right, so that's your discount code. TalkingTown10 for 10% off. New merch store is open. Done. It's dusted. Town have won 4-1. Back-to-back 4-1 victories. I'm not going to hide anymore. I'm going to put it straight out there. I've only really delayed it because I've been nervous as anything about putting it out there, but I'm going to do it. As Ando has just expertly said, worldies around. Hopefully you'll find some world-class designs there. Mark Sims, the Leicester goal completed Michael Quinn. He's won an awful lot of money, as Mark. He's won £540. Congratulations, Mark, on your success.
Drinks
That's
on
a
you,
perfect.
mate.
That was a that was a perfect time to release the store, wasn't it? Now Mark suddenly walked into some cash money. Like, Mark, come my way, my friend, and you get 10% off. The good doctor, great result. Came through some pressure, excellent save at that stage, and came through it well. Annoying that they don't give assists for the OGs. All right, it's Christian Walton has had nothing to do all afternoon, it feels like, except make one. Well, talk me through it, Coxie. It's an outstanding save, is it not?
And it was on about worldies. Well, that's a world save. That's a Gordon Banks 1970 against Brazil save.
Oh, that is a great. That's I don't know. Is it Ando? Is it that good?
I think it was a great save. I think it's a great save. I'm not sure. I think Banks probably had to go a bit lower to his right from memory, but it's a real game changer. I agree with Coxie in that the fact that at that time in the game, I mean, I think it's made better the fact it's come off the post and we've cleared it away. If he just tips it around the post, it doesn't feel so bad. But it was a great save, and he got enough on it, came off the post, and it's come out, and we've managed to clear it. But you need that away from home. You know, you're going to have some moments where you're not going to, where it's, you know, you need a little bit of luck. But if you can restrict those moments, home or away, then you're always going to move on. But on Walton, I thought he had I thought he was a bit dodgy before last game. Didn't come across a lot, and I think I mentioned it on the show. But I think he was a lot more assured today. He didn't make any mistakes. But I wouldn't put him in my top two performers. But he's done what he's had to do, and he's been a good solid sort of 7-8 out of 10.
I'm still not quite sure I'd put it in the same class as the Gordon Banks save, but I'm hearing you fellas. It's a 4-1 victory away from home. Yeah, I'm with you. I'll go with it. Womble says world class goals and saves. Hey, great to be in the championship. I'd been critical of Christian Walton throughout the course of the game, and I felt that was a really good save. Whether it was as good as a save as you two gentlemen are telling me, or whether it was just a top save. Big moment of the game where it was so desperately needed for Town, and it was a real turning point, I felt. So hey, that is what you need him to do. It's what he's there to do, and he delivered on every front today. So massive performance from Christian Walton. Absolutely
I think with the
massive.
Sorry, man. I think with the save, it's the reaction. It was where that was headed from. I mean, it looked a goal. I thought Burgess was getting on it. I said to my lad, I said, Burgess is going to come up with a goal here. You know, and he didn't. But if you look at the angle, the goal that Hurst scored, where he had the goal he scored right at the start of the game last week, almost identical. Apart from it was a corner, and Walton's managed to get his hand on it. The where the ball, you know, the header across the goalkeeper is almost exactly the same, and Walton's managed to stretch out and get his hand on it. So, yeah, Fair play to him.
Which, you know, outside of that, Coxie, O'Shea, Greaves, and Walton, the three of them, did they really have an awful lot to do outside of that and the goal, which they could really do nothing about? But outside of those two moments, they didn't feel like they had a whole lot to do.
Anything to do, really? Yeah, really. They had quite quiet afternoon. Couldn't have done a lot of. Well, perhaps you could have done something about that first goal. Somebody should have closed him. I think Taylor should have closed him down, perhaps. But you know, yeah, they had a quiet afternoon and done what they had to do.
Sorry, Cox, I can't be having any Taylor slander on the show. That's just disgraceful, my friend. Oh my days, take it back now, Coxie. I'm not accepting. Taylor should be doing better there. Just don't bring that to the platform.
He's allowed one mistake.
He makes no mistakes. Mark G, can we get promoted and choose to stand the championship so much better to what it is when you win, Mark? It hasn't felt that way yet. And we're still not quite where we need to be or where we want to be. But performances like today, results like tonight, that's the good feeling. So make your Saturday evening, whether you're going to a fireworks display or staying in and watching Strictly, is that still on? I don't know. Whatever you're doing this evening,
so, yeah.
just enjoy it. It makes it so much better. Mike D, Standout seems pretty to point the championship this season. Town can get their act together. The top two is a must. We said that a bit on the pre-game show, didn't we, Coxie, about the championship being much of a muchness. And, you know, if you can get yourself on a run and get some consistency going, who knows where you're going to be. All right, man of the match time.
Yes, wide
Let
open.
me know. Yes, it's wide open. Ando, start with you. Man of the match this afternoon. It's a tricky one because, you know, any number of 4 or 5 players could easily take it.
Clarke,
all right. Coxie
scores the first goal, but you've got 6 or 7 players on sort of 8 out of 10.
Yeah, easily.
Clarke just what a goal!
Yeah. We've got Burgess for man of the match. There's Norman. It's cheeky, Norman. It's cheeky, but it's also quite funny. Borden Blue, Taylor, man of the match. Good man, Borden Blue. Love it. Electric Trust, Clarke, man of the match. Paul Peace of Championships wide open. Norwich and protests. Coxie, your man of the match, please, sir.
Yeah, well, it'd probably be a bigger challenge to me and Andy if you said to her who was the poorest man of the patch, because you know it was a total. You can't.
Yeah, but if I did that,
I'd have had a bad game. But that's quite negative. It's quite negative, yeah. So sorry, exactly, I'm going to be boring. Yeah. I'm going to be boring. I'm going to paraphrase Andy there. It was Jack Clarke. It was up front from the start. You could see it, and he got his goal, and he was brilliant.
Yeah, I'm absolutely loving both your opinions and the live chat's input to the show tonight. It's such a great, fun sort of show where the chat also give me some banter back. I love it. Like Shane says, I'm going to say Taylor so Gov doesn't ban me. I'll make it known I've never banned anybody yet for not naming Jack Taylor man of the match, but we might one day get to that stage. But I appreciate it. Makes me laugh. And I take what you say on board, Coxie. The problem is, if I did put the question like that, I would have people in the chat saying with 141, why am I trying to be negative?
Rightly so. Yeah.
So I'm just going to stay well away from any negativity or any perceived negativity whatsoever after winning 4-1. All right, we're back tomorrow live, 5 p.m. We're going to break it down in more depth, more detail, more individual performances, more likes, more dislikes. So join us live and have your say. There was a link in the chat as well, but no one seems to want to come on the show because maybe they're all doing voice messages. Head to speakpipe.com/talking town. I've got nothing else I want to ask you, but have either of you got anything else you want to bring to this match reaction show as we sign off? Lee?
I think what we're starting to see now is the game management and the way McKenna talks about stuff, about trying to manage the game, staying in games. You can see the balance now. You can see us starting to improve. And it's easy to say after a 4-1 away win, but you don't win 4-1 away 2 consecutive games without being a decent side. Are there bumps on the road? Absolutely. We're going to concede goals, sloppy goals. But you can see the momentum. The championship is still there for the taking, I think. And our squad, we've got the best squad. Without doubt, the depth in our squad is beyond any. Coventry having a great season, don't get me wrong, and they could go on without injuries like we did 2 years ago and smash the league. But with how we're going, we're going to be right up there. After a slow start, we're going to be right up there. Mark my words. Bookmark it. Do what you want.
Which also makes the miss by Nunez and others on Tuesday night so much more painful, doesn't it? Because obviously those 2 points, you'd be sitting in the playoffs now, and you'd be not just feeling positive, but really feeling rosy potentially about what lies ahead.
But that's football. But I mean, if we hadn't created those 4 chances at the end, midweek, then I'd be really worried. If we're being dominated by teams, I still haven't seen a team that will finish above us this season, and that's not. I just generally believe that. Teams will beat us. I mean, Charlton, we can say, and people say, oh, you know, we've lost to Charlton 3-0. But we'll finish above Charlton by a mile.
Take it.
Games,
I'll take it.
Football is football. Things happen. You know, there is, you know, the whip for the post, you know, a referee decision. That is all part of the game. But we're just better than most teams. We just got better players.
There you go. And don't forget, we are partnered with Match Bingo. Use the word town all in caps for a 10%, not 10%, 100% deposit bonus. That's word town all in caps for a 100% deposit bonus. The deposit minimum is £10. And while it's bonus cash and can't be withdrawn, the winnings can be. So you get a 100% deposit bonus by using the word town all in caps. Over 18s only. T&Cs do apply, please. As I always say, whatever you do, gamble responsibly. Visit begambleaware.org for more information. To play the game, click the QR code next to their logo on screen now, or head to our description and click the link and get involved. But terms and conditions apply, over 18s only, as a 100% deposit bonus. Just to clarify, the 10% is for the Talking Town merch store. I'm scared. Too many ones and zeros and get it all mixed up. Georgie boy, all aboard the Taylor train. Choo. Everyone is suddenly joining me on the Jack Taylor bandwagon. And I'm absolutely loving it. JB says, Burrs is
banned.
I wouldn't ban anybody. Rax Max, first time this season, I will say ref was okay. Borden Blue's gone one. Whoa, Borden Blue. He's clearly coming for the position of chairman in the Taylor bandwagon. He says Taylor should be captain.
He's part of the leadership group, isn't he?
He could
He's
well
part
be.
of the leadership
I'm not quite sure I'm ready for that
club.
one myself. I'm not quite sure I'm ready to say that myself, and I'm his biggest fan. P, much more still to come from this team, which bodes well. Stuart Ward, Swansea 1, Ipswich 4 by Stuart Ward. Thanks, Stuart. Appreciate the comment. We are done. Coxie, Ando, thanks for joining me. We'll catch you all tomorrow live.
Right.
And don't forget Stowmarket Osteopaths. 1985, they've been going since. Quality care, physiotherapy, osteopath. 01449 613 633. I'm going the next week myself. Going to need it after today's jumping up and down. Town of 141. We're on the way back. You've reached the end. Thank you so much for watching. Hit here to subscribe. It's totally free. And hit here for more Talking Town videos. I'll see you on the next one.